I start out with gluing a cow tag pattern on a piece of silver, and I'm going to cut that out. And here's my brand. I'm going to cut it out also. And I usually make a 1.5 inch cow tag. This is a 1 inch. I'm starting with 16 gauge silver and then 22 gauge brass for the brand. And I put some scotch tape over the designs so when I'm cutting them out, I don't erase the lines that I'm cutting by. It protects it while you're going through the cutting process. And I just cut right through the tape. And then I drill some holes, some 1/16. I start by drilling one at the top of the cow tag, and this will be enlarged with a scroll saw to have room for my bell to fit through. And then I drill a hole beside the designs to put my scroll saw in and cut the design out. That way I don't have to cut in from the outside, which makes it a lot more flimsy while you're cutting it. And you can see me here, I'm going around the outside of the lines on the cow tag and finishing up here. And once I get this cut, I'll cut the brass brand out also. And this 16 gauge silver, I'm using a 02 scroll saw blade. On the brass, I'm going to use a 05 scroll saw blade because I can make a lot easier turns. To get this design off of here, I use carburetor cleaner. I spray it on there after I pull the tape off of it, and it soaks into the paper and releases the glue, and I just clean that up. And here I cut the brand out, and like I say, what I'll do next is I'll clean this up with a carburetor cleaner. I've left this brand attached at the top, that way when I solder it, the letters stay spaced out properly. And I put my maker's mark here on the back of the cow tag along with a sterling mark, since it is sterling silver. Now this attachment at the top, you can cut it out later if you want. I chose not to because that's the way this brand is. I'm using some handy flux to flex the back side of this brand. I'm going to tin this brand with easy solder. I don't normally tin stuff, but this works pretty good because it's such a small item to solder on, and it makes a lot less mess. So I just use my mini torch, I heat it up, and then I add the solder on there, and I just drag the solder around with the heat until I get it covered evenly. If you get too much on the back, you can use your sanding disc to cut some of that solder down flatter. But anyway, I think I got it about right. And then I'm going to flux the cow tag up. And I always flux the front and the back because it helps with the fire scale and all. Some people just flux the side that they're soldering. You do it the way you want to, but this is the way I've been doing it. And I get that coated good. And then I go over to the soldering table, I put it on a ceramic brick, and I just circle it with my torch. I'm heating the brick up and trying to keep the heat away from that 22 gauge brass. I hold it down with a stainless steel rod, and when I see that solder start to melt, I know it's adhered, and I cool it off, and that pretty much sets it. And you can see here, now you can see the flux stains on it and all, and I'm going to drop this in some muriatic acid mix that I use, and that cleans it up. And all I got to do from here is polish it, and what I start off with is a 400 grit sandpaper, and I sand both sides of it the best I can. The leather kind of hampers that some. And I use silicone wheels, different colors, different grits until I get it cleaned up a lot better. Then I go to a soft felt wheel, and I use some black compound first, and that helps me get out a lot of the scratches from the sandpaper and makes it look real nice. And then I graduate to a white compound, and then I finish up with a red compound. And I use different wheels for these different compounds. and this usually polishes up real nice. It gets real hot, so I hold it with a paper towel there. And I also put masking tape on the back of it to keep from scratching the back while I'm polishing the front. Here I'm marking the side of the cow tag with a scribe for my border, and what I'll do is I'll put this in my engraving fixture, and I'll cut this border in with a square graver. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to engrave this. I'm going to do some wriggling around the sides, and then I'll probably put a little bit of a bright cutting in between here. This is real small. I don't have the camera set up to be able to show you all that. Once I get that engraved, I'm going to put a bail right here, and that'll finish this cow tag out. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I just wanted to show you all how I make a little cow tag like this, and maybe you get some helpful hints from it. Be sure you like and subscribe to my channel. See y'all later.